In Parallel Tales, in search of inspiration for her new novel, Sylvie, played by Isabelle Huppert, spies on her neighbours in the building across the street using a telescope. When she hires young Adam, played by Bessa, to help her with her daily routines, she has no idea that he will turn her life and her work upside down until the fiction she had imagined surpasses the reality of them all. Parallel Tales is directed by Asghar Farhadi, and he has previously directed films such as A Separation and The Salesman, and Parallel Tales debuted in competition at the 2026 Cannes Film Festival. Parallel Tales for me didn't work for me at all. It's one of the worst films I've seen in 2026. But for me, strangely enough, I didn't find it boring. For me, it was kind of like watching a car crash, like driving past a car crash. You can't help but look away. And for me, I just kept watching this film. Well, this film never ends. It's almost 2.5 hours long and just keeps going and going. I'm thinking, is this film going to do something? Is it going to get better? Is it going to kind of make sense of everything it's trying to do? And it just kept getting worse and worse and more ridiculous and more silly as the film went on. I think one of the main reasons why this film just didn't work for me is because Isabelle Huppert, she's a novelist and she's writing, and I think she used to be quite a successful novelist, and she's in the middle of writing a new novel, and she's kind of like stuck at the moment, and she's kind of like at the end of her career, and she's written this novel, and this new young man that her niece has forced her to hire, and he's kind of like helping her around the house and helping her move out. And this young man, played by Bessa, he steals her novel and puts it in the possession of a young woman played by Virginie, Efira. And suddenly this movie kind of turns into this fake story of Isabelle Huppert's neighbours. But this story is just so corny, and it's just about this like menage a trois between these 3 co-workers, and this story is just out of a bad romance novel, and these people who are living in this opposite apartment, played by Virginie and Vincent Cassel and Pierre and Niney, for some reason, like they're so busy, like their job is to create sound effects for documentaries, I guess. But they're so busy, but they have time to read this corny romance that is like mirroring their life. And they keep saying throughout this film, but this is such an amazing novel, and it just doesn't make any sense. And then later on in the film, in the second half of the film, this film is trying to get these 3 people who are living in this opposite apartment to mirror the life in this novel, and it's just so clunky and it doesn't work. And another reason why this film just didn't work for me is because nobody in this film acts like what a real human, like almost everything that happens in this film, I just didn't buy the way everybody was behaving in this film whatsoever. Like this young Bessa character, he is working for Isabelle Huppert, and he starts reading her novel, and then for some reason he wants to copy his boss and start using a telescope and spy on the neighbor. And his neighbor, Virginie, I understand Virginie, Efira, she's a very beautiful woman. She's like twice his age. Like, he's a young, handsome man. He can have any woman he wants. Why? Just the film doesn't do a good job of explaining to us why he's so possessed and so infatuated with this woman played by Virginie, and he wants to like stalk her and follow her and get him to read this novel, and he starts pretending that he wrote the novel and starts pretending to be a writer, and then he wants to be a writer. And another reason why I had difficulty connecting with this film is because there's absolutely zero character development in this film. Like, you were with these characters for almost 2.5 hours, and there was just absolutely nothing to latch on to. The only characterization I can think of is Vincent Cassel's character. Pierre, Niney, and Vincent Cassel, they are brothers. They're working to do these sound effects for documentaries, and their co-worker is Virginie, Efira. And The only characterization is Vincent Cassel's character. He is a little bit obsessive. That's it. We just get to know nothing about these characters. Like Virginie, I don't know anything about her. She just works for this with these two people, and that's it. And Isabelle Huppert, she is a former successful writer, and she's a little bit quirky, and that's it. Like there's absolutely zero character development in this film, and to spend so much time with these people. As the film goes on and on and on, I just didn't care about these people at all because we just get to know nothing about them. And then finally, in the second half of the film, once this the relationship between the two brothers and Virginie and Efira start to mirror the same life that the Isabelle Huppert wrote in the novel, it just gets sillier and sillier and sillier because the film is just trying to contrive this mirror lives of the same novel, and just nobody acts like a real human. Like there's a scene where one of the brothers pushes her, like basically tries to rape Virginie Efira, and nobody reacts like in a realistic way. And even when these three people are working on this documentary, they're doing like really crazy sound effects, and they work in this apartment, and this apartment is not soundproof, and it's just the way everything comes off as silly in this film, even the way they work in this film. I think this film would have been better to set this film maybe in the 90s or earlier, because to set this film now, just because at the moment we're all like disconnected from everybody, we're all on their phones and nobody like pays attention to anybody. So for these characters to connect with other people, it just didn't work, because in the society we live in now, this film doesn't comment on current society whatsoever. And I just think it would have been better to set it maybe 20, 30 years ago when people are more connected to each other. And the film just ends on a whimper, like it's still in that stage of trying to mirror the same tale in the novel. And then Vincent Cassel's character is like going to do something that he already did in the novel, and then it just ends on the Bessa character trying to like stalk another young woman, and then it's trying to tell us, Adam's character is going to repeat the same thing that we just watched for 2.5 hours. So it's okay. It just ends on what was that? And then I give Parallel Tales 1 star out of 5. This film just didn't work for me at all. It's so silly. There's absolutely no character development whatsoever in this film. So I just had such difficulty caring about any of these people, and it just the concept of a real life people mirroring the lives of a novel that I just read on paper sounds like a good idea, but just the way it's executed in this film just comes off as so silly and so unrealistic, and everybody just does things that nobody ever does in real life. So yeah, this film just didn't work for me at all. It just wasn't boring. I was just waiting for it to get better and better as the film goes on. So the performance, it has a stacked cast. So I guess that's one of the reasons why I didn't find it boring. It just didn't work for me at all. So unfortunately, Parallel Tales is a major disappointment from director Asghar Farhadi. Thanks for watching. What do you think of Parallel Tales? Please comment below what you thought of the film. See you next time. Bye.